gather round, children, and I will tell you another real hair crime. Hey, it's me, it's Courtney, and we're ready for spooky season, and I hope you are too. And I have yet another story that I would like to shed a little light on. Are you guys ready? Because I'm so ready. So you're watching Real Hair Crimes here on the Babe Hair Extensions channel, and this story is so terrifying. Are you guys ready? Story starts out like this. I was doing this client's hair extensions, and I was doing this actually at a hair show, and she had very blonde hair, platinum blonde hair at the very top of her head, and very black hair at the very bottom of her head. So she had two different colors, platinum blonde and black. And I want to show you what that kind of looks like using my own photo of when I used to have black and blonde hair. It was a cool trend forever ago, but here it is. So we're taking this black and blonde hair and we're going to extend it, right? Using tape-in hair extensions. Now, tape-in hair extensions are really, really great. Tape-ins will give you about 6 to 8 weeks of wear time before they need to move up. It's a great way to add a lot of length and a lot of bulk really quickly into the hairstyle. So I was using tape-in extensions, and of course I chose black and blonde because that was what we were extending. The problem was I was pretty new to doing extensions, and I thought I should just follow what she already had on her hair. So my idea was to place the blonde extensions only where the blonde was and the black extensions only where the black was. So as we're starting in the nape of the neck where the black hair color was, I was working my way up until I realized that I was running out of room to do many blonde extensions. So I ended up with mostly black hair extensions and only one row of blonde hair extensions and then just a couple of extra pieces on the sides, which was problematic. Why, do you ask? Hold that thought. I really kind of actually want to show you placement of tape-ins as well before we get into our real hair crime. So I have my model here again, Miss Petunia. So when we're talking about tape-in hair extensions, and actually most hair extensions, so whether it's tape beaded fusion or sewn and weft, we really want to follow a mostly hard and fast simple rule, with the exception of fusions, but we'll get into that in a whole nother episode. We want to stay around the parietal ridge area and the occipital bone area. So the parietal ridge is where the head rounds on the side of the head, so where like kind of the temple area is. And the occipital bone is this bone in the back of your head that makes the head kind of round a little bit. And so we really want to focus our extensions mostly underneath these areas. That way the client can pull their hair back, up, around, whatever, without any extensions being shown up here. Now this is specifically true for tape-in extensions because remember, tape-ins are a wider band of hair. Thank you, Petunia. So when we're talking about placement of tape-in extensions and we have a color blocker, like a shadow box of color, we really actually need to be a little bit more strategic with our placement, or we end up in the same problem as our real hair crime victim here. So remember this story, I was placing all the tape-ins kind of according to her actual color to begin with. So all the black ones where the black hair was, all the blonde ones where the blonde was supposed to be, but I only ended up with one row of blonde. So as I was cutting and blending these extensions, I realized that I was cutting almost all of the blonde hair extensions out of her hair, leaving mostly just black hair extensions, and it looked horrific, like awful. So what is the real hair crime here? You may think that it's just the fact of, putting one row of blonde in. Actually, it's not. It's not using enough blonde in a lower transition point. So again, I'm going to show you where that should start. So as we're using extensions at the nape of the neck, we're going to be taking them and we're going to be moving them up the head. If you have a split color, you can kind of see a little bit of a split color. I have a whole bunch of colors in our mannequin here. So if you have a split color like this, you really need to extend this color down further by transitioning at a much lower point of the hair. So you may only need 2, maybe 3 rows of a dark extension, and then mixing a dark extension underneath and a blonde extension on top for another row, and then maybe all solid blonde there. That way you get a much better blend out of your 3, 4, or 5 rows, however many rows you can fit on the hair. Now, with our tape-ins offering a lot of coverage, mixing and matching your colors is going to be your best bet as well. So starting that second or third row with a transition with a dark color and a light color on top is going to be your best friend, because it's going to give you a much more unbelievable transition. So what is the real hair crime here? It is not using our blonde color or our transition color much lower in our application. How do you fix it? Meshing the 2 extension colors together at a lower transition point and then proceeding with the lighter color on top. Crime solved. It's as easy as that. Using your blonde color a little bit further down in your application will save you a mountain of trouble when you go to cut and blend. Color blocking is still somewhat in style. You can see where people are doing half of one color and half of another color, and it's perfectly fine to do so. Whatever extension method you're going to be using, just make sure you give yourself enough transition point in between. That way you have the best blend possible. So what is the code for this week? It's haunted.
Yes, use the code HAUNTED for all of your tape-in removers. You will receive 20% off. Does that freak you out just a little? 20% off your tape-in removers, our original oil-based and our express removers. Get them while you can.
Have you been enjoying these episodes? Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a comment. We want to know if you love spooky season just as much as we do. And don't let your extensions freak you out. If you want more education, head on over to babehairextensions.com and sign up for our university, Babe U. It is our Solutions Academy. And you're going to find all the tips and tricks to keep you from getting scared behind the chair. And also go to our Instagram and our TikTok, Babe Hair, for more fun laughs and learns. What crimes will we come up with next? You'll have to wait and see. Until next time, stay creepy. Bye, crime solvers.